So this evening we're just taking a quick tour of the gardens that we just had to weed. It had been really wet for a couple days, so we really couldn't get into the garden, so the weeds got away from us a little bit. They were probably some a foot tall or more even, but it doesn't look like it now because we weeded it. So also in this garden is where the corn is, and so our corn is 4 weeks old. So in another video, that when we planted this corn, I stated that to give your corn, it likes nitrogen. So we fertilized it at 4 weeks, and it also likes nitrogen at 8 weeks. So you can get plump ears of corn. So we have fertilized it with nitrogen today after we weeded it. Here are our beans, some more corn, and some pumpkins are at the end. So it's all looking really nice and everything. It looks pretty without the weeds and everything. So and now also, alright, so also what I was saying about weeding was it stresses the garden out when you weed it, because the weeds, I mean big weeds, little weeds it won't, but these weeds were pretty big, like I said, because it had gotten away from us because of the weather. And so it stresses those plants out, and then they need water. So it's about to rain tonight and into tomorrow, so our gardens will get water. And also it's cool today, and the next couple days is just in the high 70s, low 80s. Now, if we were to have weeded and it would have been like 90 degrees or even 80 degrees and no water, no rain, it would have affected the plants, the vegetable plants, because it stresses them out. And then if it's too hot and then they don't get any water, that really will affect them. So that's why it's not a good idea to weed when it's very, very hot and dry. I would just let the weeds be there, because also those weeds could protect your vegetables in that hot, dry weather, because they're not going to let it dry out as much, and they're going to get more shade. So weeds could be good at certain times, could be bad at certain times too. So let's go to the back garden now, and I'll show you what it looks like. We stopped back here at the picnic table before we go to the other garden, where we had to pick some onions, because these ones were ready to pick and they were starting to die off. So we wanted to, of course, pick them so we can chop them up and freeze them tomorrow. And so in place of the onions, we planted, so there's 2 rows empty. And so we did some more corn and some more beans. Now, what we did though was, for the corn's sake, in order to get corn in the stalks, and so we didn't just do one single row of corn, because you will never really get ears of corn that way, because it is self-pollinating and the wind has to, blow it right from the top, from the male and the female part. So what we had to do, so it has to be next to each other. The rows have to be next to each other. So we did, from these 2 rows, half of it is corn on either side, and then the other half is beans on either side. So we have an equivalent to 1 row of each more, but they had to be that way because the corn has to be next to each other. So that's a little tip about corn again. And so it's gonna be raining tonight. That's why we're picking these up, because we're trying to dry them out. So of course we don't want them to get rained on, or that would defeat the purpose of drying them out. But we are going to chop them up tomorrow to freeze them. And these ones aren't really our big onions. The ones in the garden still, they're like this big, you can tell. So those ones in the garden are going to be really nice bulb onions. But they all work, because we chop them up in the end anyway, so. Okay, so a little quick side note about this picnic table that is so nice and big that my husband built for me. So he built this for me. We love come outside and to use, to use this area out here in the nice weather. And we sometimes even come out in the winter. But so we use this a lot. We lay it out for vegetables on it to dry out once we picked them, or to just lay them out as we're picking other stuff. Fruit, we eat out here. We come out here, we chop up the onions out here. We, get the corn ready for the freezer out here. We do fruit out here a lot. Apples, cherries, pears, you name it. It gets a lot of use. A lot of use. And I have 2 umbrellas for when it's sunny and hot. You can open the umbrellas. And I just love it. And it's really, the kids love it too. It's really multi-purpose. And then, so like I said, we picked some onions today. And then we also dug up some potatoes today. So here's the first crop of our red potatoes this year. So they are really nice looking. They're like a perfect red potato. Just perfect. And also tonight we were so blessed to be able to eat some of this tonight with dinner. We had fried potatoes with onions, and that's what we had along with our dinner. So, well, even though our other dinner was from our meat from our freezer, so really all of our dinner was almost all from our farm. So that was really amazing. That's always fun to do. So now we're going to go over there to the other garden. I'll be right there. So now we've got to this other garden, and as you can see, it looks kind of rough because it was been weeded, like I said, and it hasn't got water yet, but it's going to rain tonight and tomorrow. So a little bit of water in a couple of days, it'll all pop out right out of this. It looks weak, but it's not really weak. It's just a little stressed. And then here's where we did the corn and the beans, like I said. That's where the onions were. And we had to dust our cabbage and broccoli because of the bugs were eating the leaves. So we always do that every year. We dust it. There's those big onions like I was saying earlier. So these onions wouldn't be our nice big bulb onions. Also, we gave it all fertilizer like we did the front garden. And then we tied up tomatoes. And there's already green tomatoes in there, as you can see down here. So, and then there's some little baby cherry tomatoes over there. So it's all going to be nice. And now we're probably not going to have to really weed it big again. Oh yeah, and also we put the lime on the tomatoes, which helps the tomatoes not get blight or blossom end rot. So you can name it the same thing. It's the same thing. They need calcium, which is in the lime that you give. You just sprinkle it. It's like pelletized lime. So, and if you look at the bag, it says it has calcium in it. And then you sprinkle it around it, and then it helps them. So, yeah, so that will help the tomatoes. So now, and what that is, if nobody knows what that is, I probably should tell you. So if you have a tomato that you pick, and at the bottom, it's all black and looks like it's rotting away, but or like black spots on it, that's what that is. So that's what will cure that, is giving it pelletized lime that has calcium in it. So, yep, and here's our watermelon, cantaloupe, cucumbers. We planted some more cucumbers as well because they came up kind of spotty. I think our sweet potatoes looks like they're starting to vine out.
Mommy, where's the watermelon?
Right here. This will be watermelon and that one will be cantaloupe. And yeah, so that's our 2 gardens and what we've done with it. Like I said, though, we're probably not going to have to weed it as heavy again. This was the second time, so normally that's about good now. And now everything should really take off as the weather gives them the water and the heat that they need, because most of this stuff is going to like heat now. So the tomatoes especially, cucumbers like water, tomatoes like heat. So and they like water, but cucumbers really like water. So if you do have cucumbers, make sure that they get a lot of water. Okay, so yeah, remember, so the cucumbers really like water. To make a good crop of cucumbers, they need 1 inch a week of water. So 1 inch of water per week. So if you're not getting a lot of rain, water them. And it makes a difference. It truly makes a difference. There's been years where we haven't got a lot of rain and we didn't water them for whatever reason, and we didn't know how to get any cucumbers. So, and we make a lot of pickles, so we need cucumbers. So yeah, this I believe is a squash. So that's doing well.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have some pepper plants, green bell pepper plants up there at the very end of the tomatoes. So they're doing well. They have blooms on them. And then the green beans right here. Oh, and then there's some peppers over there. That row next to the green beans. So yeah, that's all looking nice. So just check back as the garden grows. Have a great night. Bye.